Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and history lovers. Today, we travel back to the late 19th century, to the year 1883, when Australia was still under British rule and gold was king. We're uncovering the story behind the 1883 £1 coin, its origins, and how it connects to the later Queen Elizabeth II coinage that shaped modern Australia in 1883. Australia was still under British rule and did not yet issue its own national currency. At that time, the country was part of the British Empire, and the official £1 coin in circulation was the gold sovereign. These coins were made of nearly 8 grams of pure gold and were highly trusted around the world. The gold sovereigns used in Australia were minted locally in Sydney and Melbourne, carrying a distinct Australian identity even though they remained part of the British monetary system. They featured the portrait of Queen Victoria, who reigned from 1837 to 1901, long before Queen Elizabeth II was born. The gold sovereigns of 1883 are often referred to as the Australian £1 coin because their value represented £1 British pound. These coins reflected the success of the Australian gold rushes that began in the 1850s, which had transformed the colonies into some of the richest territories in the empire. By 1883, both the Sydney Mint and the Melbourne Mint were producing their own gold sovereigns marked with small letters, S or M, to identify their origin. Each coin carried the same royal portrait of Queen Victoria designed by William Wyon, one of the most respected engravers of the era. On the front side of the 1883 coin, the young head of Queen Victoria faced left, surrounded by the Latin inscription, Victoria de Gratia Britanniarum Regina FD, which means, Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of the Britons, Defender of the Faith. The reverse side carried a shield design with a royal crown on top and floral emblems such as the rose, thistle, and shamrock, representing England, Scotland, and Ireland. Around the edge of the design appeared the word Australia, which made these coins special, as it was one of the earliest times the country's name appeared on a coin before Australia officially became a nation in 1901. These coins were more than just money, they were symbols of stability, wealth, and the growing confidence of the Australian colonies within the empire. Every gold sovereign struck in 1883 connected the discovery of gold deep in Australian soil to the power of the British Crown. They travelled far beyond the continent, circulating throughout the empire and often ending up in the hands of traders, explorers, and settlers who carried a piece of Australian history with them. Decades later, after the death of Queen Victoria and the reigns of her successors, the world entered a new royal era with Queen Elizabeth II, who became queen in 1952. During her reign, Australia introduced coins featuring her portrait, beginning in 1953. Although no £1 coin from 1883 could possibly feature Queen Elizabeth II, her image later appeared on all Australian coins when the country transitioned from the old pound system to the decimal currency in 1966. The modern Australian dollar replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence, ending more than a century of British-style coinage. Still, the 1883 £1 gold sovereign remains a direct ancestor of the coins that would later bear Queen Elizabeth's likeness. It represents the early connection between Britain and Australia and the royal tradition that continued for generations. Collectors today value these 1883 gold sovereigns not only for their gold content but also for their deep historical significance. Depending on condition, mint mark, and rarity, these coins can sell for anywhere between $600 and $2,000, with pristine examples fetching even more. Each of these coins tells a story that bridges centuries of royal history. From Queen Victoria's golden age to the modern Elizabeth II coinage, the legacy of the £1 sovereign reflects how Australia's identity evolved while maintaining its royal heritage. The 1883 £1 coin is therefore not just a piece of gold but a piece of living history, a shining reminder of the time when the foundations of Australia's monetary and national story were still being written.